Welcome everyone. I'm Robert Ridpath from Health Synergy. How was your year? Have you taken a look back and kind of figured out all the good stuff you did? Have you learned from your learning experiences? Are you moving ahead? Did you have some good stuff happen and maybe some not so good stuff happen? And what about this year coming up? Where are you going with the new year? So I have a question for you. Do you expect this year to be the same as last year? You know, that old saying, if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, we call that insanity, right? So if you don't make any changes, it's going to be the same. Myself, I'm going to focus on a lot of new things, but I want to put this out to you. What are you going to focus on? What are you going to make happen? Because in my Happy New Year, I didn't wish you a Happy New Year. I challenged you to a new year. Remember that video? And what was important about that was that you make it happen. So this year, a lot of stuff happened in my life. And I'm not going to say it's positive or negative, but a lot of stuff that both my wife's parents passed away. We had to put our dog down. A good friend who was my mentor and kind of father figure, he succumbed to cancer. A good friend at work, she passed away suddenly. My daughter got a very bad concussion when a car door slammed on the side of her head. I've developed some really weird injuries. I love skiing, cross-country skiing, and I caught my ski, it turned over, I tore the cartilage in my hip, so I'm going to have hip surgery. And I was out just playing hockey, and a puck came, it hit my ankle, it broke my leg just before Christmas. So a lot of stuff happened, right? But there's some other stuff as well. My oldest daughter started driving. I got to teach her how to drive. I got myself a new toy. I got a new mountain bike because I love that. I met some great new friends. I've hit some new milestones with my fitness and my business plan. It's solid. I'm working on some deeper relationships with my wife. We had a great family trip and we developed some new moments that we're all going to remember and we still talk about. Whitewater rafting, jumping off cliffs and stuff like that, right? But it all comes down to how am I going to interpret these events? Because an event is an event. It's just a series of actions that happen. What do you want to get from it? And what do I want them to mean to me in my life? Do I want them to be good things or bad things? For example, my father-in-law passing. That is death. That's a bad thing. However, from his point of view, because he had later stage Alzheimer's and he wasn't eating, he was really going downhill, sooner is better for him. So that was a good thing. So how do you want to interpret the situation is going to basically impact what you extract from it, right? So how are you going to choose to interpret these events to empower you versus them disempowering you and then you become a victim to the situation, right? And as a matter of fact, they could become skeletons, anchors, or chains in your life. Or they could be stepping stones, they could be springboards, they could be motivators, they could be learning experiences or tipping points to something new and fantastic. So if you're going to make changes, is it better to make one large big change or small changes? Many small tiny changes may be insignificant by themselves. Small emotional investment, small time commitment, maybe a small financial investment, but over a year they can add up to a big change over that time period versus something like one large major change. And I don't know, I've never smoked, but maybe smoking, quitting smoking, that's a big change for people, or getting out of a negative relationship, or finally starting to save money, or finally learning how to eat right. Those are big things. Is it better to just jump in one big thing? I'm not sure. And with one big thing, there's a big emotional investment. It requires a large amount of energy to rebirth something like that, right? With lots of small changes, Stephen Covey, who's kind of a world authority on getting more out of your life, he talks about sharpening the saw. So small little changes in many different areas. So for myself, I'm going to focus more on my health, specifically getting my aerobic fitness back. I'm going to focus on better relationships with my kids and my wife. Spend more time with each one of them. So for my daughters, I'm going to have and take each of them out individually, just a father and daughter thing, once a month. I'm going to focus more on my different businesses. I want to add more value to the people I serve and affect more people to fulfill my personal mission. So what are the small steps you're going to change in your life? So I'm going to start changing the music I listen to. I'm going to start changing my clothes a little bit, my exercise routine, what I read, what I watch, what I listen to, who I surround myself with, what I put into my mind, what I eat and put into my body. I'm going to make small changes in these things because this year, I want this to be a tremendously new year for me. A lot of changes, a lot of growth. And I challenge you to do the same. So life is about balance, right? And there's this saying, you have to give to get, the yin-yang balance of life. So if you've set yourself a goal, that's a want, if you will, right? You want to get something, you want to have something. That's fine. But to make it in balance, add to it, I want this, add to it, and in return, I will give that. You see? Give to get. And that completes the circle, and call it good vibes, good karma, or whatever, but things work better when you have this give to get mentality set in your mind. And also, when you're doing this, when you're setting these goals, when you're in the process of achieving them, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel happy, or you're going to say, oh my God, this is such hard work doing this? No, try and add some positive emotions, and then envision down the road. Envision how you're going to feel when you've really achieved what you want. Those good ecstatic feelings, the self-trust, the self-worth, the self-confidence, the lack of fear, the competence, the new skills you've learned, right? Very important. So this year, for me, because of all the deaths, I'm really going to focus on life and living. I'm going to focus on lifestyle, building more balance into my life, juggling things better. Maybe I'm not a good juggler. Maybe I've let some things drop. So I'm going to practice juggling better balance. And I'm going to increase the quality of my life. I'm going to follow my heart, my deeper passions, because it's pretty easy to put things on the back burner or to do things for other people, right? And I want to make more of my dreams come true. So what are you doing this year? Here at Health Synergy, we're helping people achieve these goals. So I'd recommend go to healthsynergy.ca, that's for Canada, because I'm from Canada, and go there and check out some of our amazing articles. Look at some of the training programs and see if we resonate with you. If you don't like it, that's fine, but a lot of people love it, and we're here to serve you. So go to healthsynergy.ca and check it out. Until then, I'm Robert Ridpath. Live boldly, make your dreams come true, and make it happen.